Hello, you're listening to Hugo Talk. So once again, I'm banging on about Netflix. Mind control propaganda machine Netflix, which I would lump in with the media and say is the epitome of evil. How many subscribers does Netflix have? It says here they have 220 million subscribers. 220 million individual subscribers. Now you got to remember, a lot of these subscriptions will be for one household, and that could cover a number of people. It could be 4, 5, 6. So you're looking at possibly 1 billion people watching Netflix. And this is a propaganda tyrant's dream, to have access to such a large number of the population of the world all at the same time. So, what is the big show at the moment on Netflix? Let me guess. Is it something happy? Is it a loving, sweet story of triumph against the odds? Is it something uplifting, a show that could lift people up and inspire them to help one another? You know, love and harmony and all that jazz? No, of course not. It's Jeffrey Dahmer, serial killer, of course.
Dahmer, the new series breaking streaming records, even as it is sparking controversy. Chris Connolly is here with more on this. Good morning, Chris.
Hey, good morning, Cecilia. And yes, we're talking Stranger Things type numbers here. The serial killer saga starring Evan Peters is already the 9th most viewed English language series in Netflix history. And that comes with controversy, along with evidence that when it comes to true crime, people like to watch.
Well, do they? Do people like to watch this? Or have they been conditioned to watch it? Have they manufactured people to consent to watch this stuff? Why would you watch this? I mean, and in your free time? And is it corrupting people? Is it poisoning their minds, their souls? Is this focus, this concentration on the obscene and wicked, is it normalizing it? You know, I've talked about this before. Netflix was founded by Mark Bernays Randolph, whose great uncle was Edward Bernays, the godfather of propaganda. It says here Edward Bernays was born to a Jewish Canaanite family. His mother, Anna, 1858 to 1955, was Sigmund Freud's sister. Sigmund Freud, or should I call him Sigmund Fraud, the famous psychoanalyst whose main claim to fame was the Oedipus complex, which many now claim as bogus. Again, was this a way of corrupting society? For more information about that, see what they call the Freudian cover-up for more info on that. Anyway, Edward Bernays used Sigmund Freud's theories by introducing psychology into advertising to convince Americans to fight and die in World War I, eat bacon for breakfast. He tricked them into eating bacon for breakfast, it says here, and get women to start smoking. This is where the term manufacturing consent comes from. Well, I think originally it was called the engineering of consent. And this is the relations of the founder of Netflix. Netflix stems from the most famous propaganda agents ever. So why wouldn't Netflix also be a propaganda machine? It's a mind control machine which extends a reach to the biggest number of people ever at a time where the establishments of the world are trying to coerce people into submitting to all sorts of crap. I mean, here are some Edward Bernays phrases that he said. Men, people are rarely aware of the real reasons which motivate their actions. He also said, those who manipulate this unseen mechanism of society constitute an invisible government which is the true ruling power of our country. We are governed, our minds are moulded, our tastes formed, our ideas suggested, largely by men we have never heard of. And that's the point with Netflix. It masquerades as fun, as entertainment, which I've mentioned before, the word entertainment, enter, to go into, tain, that's the tin that backs a mirror, ment, fixes like cement, your mind, mental, entering into the mirror and fixing you there, entertainment. They are molding you from your own reflection. It's not supposed to be obvious. It's a propaganda machine that flies under the radar, and it controls and influences the public without knowing. That's why you're going to get people who will comment on this video today and say, ah, chill out, it's just a TV show. No, it's not.
I don't like horror movies, honey.
Others do, apparently, since its 10 episodes dropped on September 21st. Ryan Murphy's serial killer saga, Dahmer, Monster, the Jeffrey Dahmer story, has become a success and a sensation for Netflix.
Now, there are some people who say that these characters, these real-life stories of these notorious psychos, are not what they seem. Some claim them to be hoaxes, to interject fear into the public, make a society fearful. A fearful public is more easily controlled. And then there are others that state that these people are not just simply loners, but are assets, the result of government MK Ultra experiments, Manchurian candidates, again used as a tool of fear over society, a control mechanism to make people to not trust strangers, so people don't connect, keep societies disparate, separate, stay isolated from one another, divide and conquer, and ultimately to control. Anyway, in regards to Netflix, you know, being a corruptive, soul-destroying force, it's irrelevant anyway. Fictional, non-fiction, whatever it is, it's still pushing evil, dark, twisted, perverse content, concepts, pushing them into the houses of families and the minds of a huge number of viewers, and making it, for some people, making it something that they watch on a regular basis. Yeah? Watching this type of crap daily. It's normalizing it. And there is so much of it. These dark, twisted true crime shows. It's a daily staple of some people's diet. I mean, look at all this crap. This is what they are offering for people to consume with their eyes and their minds. I mean, some people, you're wary of what you eat. I mean, you should be wary of what media you consume, because these people, they're trying to corrupt you. I mean, look at all this crap. Ted Bundy, John Wayne Gacy, numerous shows about these people, all kinds of depravity, analysing these horrendous stories and getting huge number of people to focus on this because they promote it on their platform to get you to fixate on these shows and the details of these despicable, grotesque things. Now, I know, like, you know, that there's been shows like this for a long time. I mean, you know, go back to the 80s and 1980s, you had serial killer movies and stuff like that. But it was here and there. If it was on TV, say in your individual country, it would be on maybe, you know, once a week, late in the evening at a certain time, or there may be some movie released at the cinema or whatever. But with this now, with these streaming platforms, with Netflix, when something is released, it's a direct access to every country in the world at the same time. It's the biggest TV station across the world, everywhere. And it's like accessible at any time. I mean, you could be watching this crap in the morning while you're eating your Lucky Charms. I mean, what is the obsession that Netflix have with these killer documentaries, with this misery? I mean, what next are we going to see? A Panini book sticker collection for these nutters? I mean, do you know what I mean? I mean, no, I know people are curious, right? I know you can't help being curious about certain extreme stories, you know? But you have to be careful what you consume. I mean, if you're careful what you eat, if you eat healthily, you're going to feel good about it afterwards. If you eat garbage, you're going to feel bad. Same goes for this. You consume and watch dark, twisted stuff like this over and over, binge watching they call it, it's going to affect you. And then of course you've got, you know, the drama shows like Squid Game, you know? Look, it may be well acted. The storyline might be interesting. There may be some form of undercurrent theme addressing the class divide or an elite or whatever. The cinematography may be good, but it's still a vessel for depravity. How many people were killed in the first season of that show? 455 deaths in the first season of Squid Game. Is that enough killing for you? Is 455 deaths good entertainment? Is it fun to watch as you sit there with your bottle of beer and a packet of Wotsits? You know? I mean, look, it's weird for me to say these things because I would have watched these shows a few years ago, just a few years ago. You know, I watched Breaking Bad, Sopranos, all that stuff. And those shows, you know, they're well done. But if you think about it, it's just a story of a bunch of criminals. There's no good characters to root for in it. It's basically, who's your favourite villain? And all this pandemic thing over the last two and a half years, it's completely alerted me to the insidious influence of the media. And now, I mean, like I said before in a previous video, I've got a record collection, a CD collection. I can't listen to it anymore because every time I hear it, I just think, you know, of the controlled peekaboo puppets. I've got no respect for them. And now I don't hardly watch anything on the TV anymore. I'm just watching old TV shows because I really feel these powerful media channels are trying to push some form of darkness into the minds of a generation. I mean, maybe this is one way of grooming this generation to take the mark of the beast. Just relentless misery on this platform of Netflix. I mean, you can't find anything on this platform related to, say, the Bible or Jesus. I mean, I think there was a show on it back in 2019 called The First Temptation of Jesus Christ. And it was a comedy where they made Jesus gay, which was obviously done to offend, right? And when you do a search on a Netflix programming website, you know, and you type in, say, Christian or Bible, the first result I got was a film called Apostle, with the T in Apostle turned upside down like an upside down cross and a church on fire. That says it all. That's about it. So it is literally anti-Christ. This is anti-Christ programming. And you see this on the other streaming services as well. It's not just Netflix, but Netflix seems to be the worst. I mean, there's a huge amount of satanic shows on Netflix as well. Even the cartoons for the kids have elements of it. And then, of course, you've got the LGBTQ agenda is pushed along with other shows that reinforce mainstream propaganda. Elon Musk, Obama, all of that gobbledygook. So you have those as well. So here's some Bible quotes. Be not deceived. Evil communications corrupt good manners. So, you know, if you consume, watch stuff that is continuously about wickedness and depravity, then it's going to rub off on you. And I believe it can open you up to dark forces. I believe that. Okay? You may not, but I do. The eye is the lamp of the body. If your eye is clear, your whole body will be full of light. But if your eye is bad, your whole body will be full of darkness. This Netflix platform I feel, is polluting people's consciousness. It's poisoning their minds. I know there are other shows on there that are not all bad. There aren't many though, usually, you know, cooking shows, obsessing over food, maybe some Victorian drama or whatever, but there is an absolute ton of this twisted, horrific misery. But you know, I mean, it's up to you what you watch. But I'm just saying, be careful, you know? I just wanted to warn people about it. Put it out there because I know personally someone who was affected by looking into the gratuitous details of one of those supposed real life stories. And it really, really, really disturbed them. They started having nightmares about it. It was the Fred and Rose West. They had nightmares about them trapped in their house. They couldn't get the details out of their heads. And then shortly after that, they developed a very bizarre illness, which turned them into a zombie. They had this for about 5 months. It was very, very strange, I've got to say. And it went as quick as it appeared. And there was a distinct reason for it going, that I believe. And, you know, I'll talk about that at another time, as it's a bit weird. But in some ways, it has convinced me of certain things, along with other stuff that has happened to me over the last year. But that's a story for another day. So, look, let us know what you think in the comments. And as always, thanks for listening. Come and subscribe to hugotalks.com, and I'll see you later.